third. As always, in the cleanup spot will be Jackson Willits, just off to a great start. Trey Gamble, the left fielder, he's driven in 6 runs this weekend. He'll bat 5th, followed by the DH today, Drew Dickerson, who sees his first start this weekend. Nolan Stevens is out in right field. He'll be batting in the number 7 spot. Then it's the center fielder Jason Walk, and second baseman Kyle Branch will bat 9th. So Camden Johnson, then Brock, LaChance, Willits, Gamble, Dickerson, Stevens, Walk, and Branch for the Sooners. And we are ready to go on an overcast and breezy Sunday afternoon at beautiful Kimry Family Stadium, Oklahoma and Gonzaga. Center fielder Noah Meffert leading off for the Bulldogs. He's 1 for 7 with a run scored this weekend. Did drive in a run on Friday night. The Sooner freshman lefty Cord Rager ready to go. And in from the right side is Noah Meffert. Stands near the back of the box. Plate umpire C.J. Burdett gives Rager the go-ahead, and he pumps one a little bit outside. A fastball at 93 miles per hour. What's the mix pitch-wise for Cord Rager, Blake?
Yeah, that fastball is going to be up to 95 at times. Goes slider and a change up to right-handers.
1-0 pitch, strike, belt high. I think Meffert thought it might be a little bit inside, but the count is even at 1-1 to Noah Meffert. Meffert batting .275 as he slashes this one foul and out of play. He has started all 10 games this season as Noah Meffert for the Bulldogs, a senior out of Coopville, Washington, transferred from Point Loma Nazarene College and also George Fox University. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, blew a fastball past him at 95 miles an hour.
It's a good sequence to start off the game from Rager. Fastball up to 95 to finish off Meffert to get the first out of the inning.
So that is strikeout number 16 for Cord Rager. He's only issued 4 walks. These 3 Sooner weekend starters have been incredible. That's 69 strikeouts and 13 walks between Rager, Mercurius, and Cameron Johnson. In from the right side, the third baseman Mikey Bell takes a strike. It is 0-1. Mikey Bell is 2 out of 7. He has scored a run and driven in 2. He homered back on Friday. But he can't catch up with that one. 93-mile-an-hour fastball into the glove of Brendan Brock. Brock doing the catching. Camden Johnson at third. Jackson Willits is the shortstop. It is Kyle Branch at second, and Dayton LaChance plays first. They are straight away on the infield. Outfield shifted a little bit toward right center. And in the outfield, it's Trey Gamble in left, Jason Walk in center, and Nolan Stevens is the right fielder as Bell fouls this pitch off. And the count stays 0-2. Mikey Bell, redshirt junior from Fresno, California, transferred from Cuesta College, takes up and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rager has a presence, doesn't he? 6'6", 237. That's how they grow him in Maypearl, Texas, Blake.
Haven't never been there, don't know, but I believe it right now.
1-2 is bounced to the left side, cutting it off. The third baseman Johnson fires it across for the second out. Just a fairly easy play with Camden Johnson drifting 3-4 steps left, circling in front of the shortstop Willits to make it easy peg to first. 2 gone.
I think being 6'6", that's what you're going to get. You're going to see a lot of strikeouts and weak contact from Rager. He really pounds the zone with that fastball at 95.
Ryder Young is in there, digging in from the right side, the left fielder. Righty-lefty matchup, but he swats one foul and out of play. It's funny, I was out in the bullpen a couple of days ago and just kind of chatting around. Skip Johnson was out there working, and we were talking things over with Todd Butler, who is one of the best recruiters in the country. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. I said, he's from Maypearl, Texas. Where is Maypearl, Texas? And everybody kind of looked around, and Skip Johnson finally went, exactly. That's how you have to go find him. 0-2 on Young. Lifts this one again out of play. Foul up and over on the first base side. It stays 0-2. He's not been afraid of the moment, and you heard pregame conversation with Skip Johnson. He was a two-way guy coming out of high school, but the pitching has really taken off starting midway through the fall.
That's a tough conversation to have in the fall, right? Guy comes in.
This one is popped up on the infield. Wind is kind of holding it in play near the Gonzaga dugout, and it will be in play for Dayton LaChance right near the first base coach's box. That's out number 3. Bulldogs go 1-2-3 in the top of the first. We've got no score, and the Sooners coming to the plate for the first time at Kimry Family Stadium today. When we return, this is Sooner Baseball from Learfield.
Here we go. Homeland brings savings and Sooner W's home all season long. Homeland is your go-to for all game day essentials.
Extension out in front of the mound. It's warming up at 92. That could go up as the game goes along. See a little bit of slider, maybe a changeup to right-handers as well.
No record, 5.40 earned run average, 8 1/3 innings. He's given 10 hits, 5 earned runs, 7 walks, and 8 strikeouts. And he faces the Sooner leadoff man, Camden Johnson, in from the left side, lefty versus lefty. And Cam shows bunt, takes the pitch upstairs. What a weekend. 2 for 5 for Camden Johnson. He has driven in 2. He has scored 4 runs, leads the SEC in runs, and an inside the park home run here yesterday. He's also hit one out of the park this season. 1-0 again shows bunt. This time takes a 93-mile-per-hour fastball on the outer half to even the count at 1-1. How do you get an inside the park home run? Well, you either got to be fast or really lucky, or maybe a little bit of both.
A lot of bit of both.
1-1 outside edge. That was Oklahoma's first inside the park home run since not
Kyle
that long
Branch.
ago. No. Last year, Jason Walk against Alabama had an inside the parker. When's the Kyle Branch one you're thinking of?
That was his first home run last year.
Okay.
It was one of the first few games of the season.
So Walks came after that one. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Camden Johnson. He waves at that pitch. A swing and a miss. Strikeout starts things for Karsten Swim, the lefty.
That's a really good slider down and away from Camden Johnson. Swings right over the top of it.
That brings in the Sooner catcher, Brendan Brock. Catching today. He was the DH on Friday and caught yesterday. Homered on Friday. He's driven in 3 runs this weekend, 2 for 4. Sooners have clubbed 5 home runs in the 2 games thus far. The lefty kicks and deals to the right-handed Sooner batter outside. Outfield is just about straight away everywhere. A little deeper in left. They have flip-flopped the bullpens this weekend. As we go through the great improvements at Kimry Family Stadium, this pitch is swung on, foul tip into the glove of the catcher Sherman. And a 1-1 count here on Brendan Brock. With construction ongoing, and it looks so cool to have the clear fence so you can see the bullpens out in left field and right field. Straight away left and right as the 1-1 is downstairs. But Oklahoma's bullpen for years and years was down the left field line. It's close to the clubhouse, which is also on the left side. But with the new construction, the new clubhouse is going to be down right field. So they wanted to move the bullpen, kind of get them acclimated. But that plan has changed, Blake.
Yeah, it seems like a logistics thing. You
2-1.
ever had to bring anybody out of the dugout to go warm up in the bullpen? You got to run them across the field or around. It just seemed like a smarter move to bring it out to left where it was.
So they're back out in left field beginning with this series.
Don't worry, they got the heated bench back in left, so it made the move from right to left field, so we're okay.
The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup it looked like there from Karsten Swim that gets Brendan Brock. And it's 2 batters and 2 strikeouts for this Gonzaga lefty.
Yeah, another good arm for the Zags. 3rd in a row, really. This is 94-95, and that changeup's good to righties.
Yeah, Skip Johnson was talking about the Gonzaga pitchers. He said the scores may not have indicated it, but they have seen 3 good arms at least this weekend for the Bulldogs. And the bases are empty, 2 gone with no score in the bottom of the first as Dayton LaChance, the Sooner first baseman, is in from the right side. Kind of in on his fists, popped up on the infield, a near collision between the second baseman, Shoup, and the first baseman, White. But White darts across in front of Shoup, grabs it out of midair, and the inning is over. Nothing across for the Sooners, and we have no score. Headed to the top of the second in Norman. This is Sooner Baseball from Learfield.
The Whataburger Monterey Melt is back? You've got some nerve showing up here again, looking all delicious with your fresh all-beef patties, melty cheeses, grilled.
Bulldogs will send the middle third of the lineup to the plate. here in the second against the Sooner left-hander Cord Rager. Retired the side in order in the first. Luca DiPaolo, then Hudson Shoup, and Ricky Sanchez, the scheduled hitters for Gonzaga here. Cord Rager deals. The first pitch is hit well into right center field, but Jason Walk and Nolan Stevens are out there, and it'll be the center fielder Jason Walk. Right in, I would call that straight away right center field, and about 10 steps shy of the warning track is where he pulled it in.
Yeah, easy play for Walk out there. Another good job by Rager getting ahead with the fastball. Gets weak fly ball. Easy out number one.
It's a cloudy sky, so those high pop-ups could potentially get lost a little bit. That one not that high. And an easy play for Jay Walk. First pitch to the left-hand batting Hudson Shoup is over the outer half for a called strike. Another lefty-lefty matchup here. Shoup 1 for 5 this weekend. Stance wide open in that left-handed batter's box, and he whacks one foul back to the back screen quickly in a hole. 0-2. Hudson Shoup is out of West Richland, Washington. Transfer from Seattle University, was second team All West Coast Conference a season ago. And the 0-2 check swing. Did he hold up? No, he did not. Scott Latendra, the third base umpire, rings up Hudson Shoup. It is the second strikeout for Cord Rager. And just like that, 2 down in the Gonzaga second inning.
Rager hasn't had to show the whole arsenal today. Using that fastball cutter, gets the strikeout right on the inside corner.
No score here in the second. 2 gone, base is empty. And the shortstop, Ricky Sanchez, is in. Right-handed hitter, and he takes a fastball down and just around the knees for a strike on the outer half. Tough pitch to hit there. Ricky Sanchez is 3 for 5 this weekend. All 3 hits came on Friday. And Rager misses with that one. Count is even at 1-1. Bulldogs had only 1 hit off of L.J. Mercurius yesterday. 1-1 pitch. Lifted foul. You keep an eye on things like that. I mean, it gets high up into the air, and you think it is 50 feet foul, but that south wind gets a hold of it, and it winds up landing on top of the Gonzaga dugout over on the first base side.
Yeah, it's a 20-mile-an-hour wind. It'll bring it back in. You'd love to see opposing first baseman come and try to play this. The chance was right all over it.
1-2 pitch. Foul ball back to the screen off the bat of Sanchez. Ricky Sanchez is on his 4th collegiate stop. Pittsburgh State in Kansas was his first stop. The Gorillas.
Go Gorillas.
That's right. Then Lamar, and then back to Kansas at Barton County Community College. And now he's a Bulldog. He takes the 1-2 pitch a little upstairs, and the count is all square. First 5 retired by Cord Rager today. And that one misses just a little bit outside. Little tight.
Yeah, maybe a ball out. That's a cutter he's trying to bring back in. Brendan Brock does a nice job trying to steal that, but I think it's a ball.
So the count is full with 2 gone and the base is empty. Lined into center field. That's a base hit. Lands right in the center of the OU logo. Played on 2 hops by Walk, who was kind of around toward right center field. That's the first hit for either team today. It's a 2-out single in the top of the second from the shortstop, Ricky Sanchez, for Gonzaga.
Really good at bat right there. Takes it all the way to a full count. Spits on a 3-2 cutter, a 2-2 cutter, make it full, and gets a fastball over the middle. Doesn't do too much with it.
That's the 4th hit of the weekend for Sanchez. And the inning is alive for the first baseman, Landon White, also a right-handed hitter. 1 hopper, speared by the second baseman Branch. An easy peg over to first to LaChance, and the inning over. White swings at the first pitch. So after the single by Sanchez, he's left stranded. The Bulldogs get no runs on a hit and leave 1 man out there, and we've got no score in Norman headed to the bottom of the second inning. This is Sooner Baseball from Learfield.
No one plans for an injury, but when the work...
New or used gas or diesel at no additional cost to you.
So get to the store with more at Seth Wiley Chevy GMC I-35 exit 72 in Pauls Valley, or click SethWileyChevy.com.
Located just minutes from the OU campus, Courtyard Norman offers affordable, stylish accommodations with tech-forward amenities and classic Southern hospitality. Book your stay today at Marriott.com/OKCNO.
Nice job. Sooners coming to the plate here in the bottom of the second inning. Jackson Willits, Trey Gamble, Drew Dickerson. And the first pitch to Willits is in there for a called strike. Karsten Swim struck out 2 Sooner batters in the first. And the lefty is ready with his 0-1 offering to Jackson Willits. Pulled up the third base side, then fouled. What a start Jackson Willits is off to this year. I think as expected, though, batting .355. A home run, his first of the year, came in the Arizona State Series over the weekend. He's driven in 16 runs. 0-2 pitch for him here is upstairs.
Yeah, snapped a 11-game RBI streak early in the season yesterday. Had a really good game at the plate. Thought he hit a lot of balls hard. Worked at count, deep in the count later on the game, but just kind of fell short.
1-2 to the switch hitter, batting right, taking this one up and in. Oklahoma rallied in the bottom of the ninth inning in game number 2 against Arizona State on Wednesday, and it was Jackson Willits who delivered the walk-off hit. Was batting left-handed. With 2 strikes, he tried to bunt a couple of times. They took the bunt off, and he singled into left field to the opposite field to win the game. Takes a fastball just outside. Good pitch, but it missed, and the count is full to Jackson Willits.
Yeah, the moment's not too big for him, right? He's a guy that's seen a lot. It's his junior year now. I remember him coming on as a freshman thinking this kid's going to be good, and he's proved to be really good.
This is such a veteran Oklahoma lineup. Been through a lot. 3-2 pitch. Willits hits one out into shallow center field. The second baseman, Shoup, and the shortstop, Sanchez, collide, and somehow it is Shoup, the second baseman, able to hang on. They were both backpedaling. Tough play. Neither one of them felt like he had a good beat on it. And fortunate to hang on was Shoup for the first out.
Yeah, a little miscommunication. Shoup got a really good jump on that ball. Ricky Sanchez just not giving away. That's my infield, baby.
Okay, so whose play really is that? Do you always want your shortstop to take command of it?
Not necessarily. I think it's whoever's closest. Obviously, that is in the shortstop area, but I think Shoup did a nice job of being athletic and trying to cover for his guy. But who's ever got the easier play in my mind?
Trey Gamble is in from the left side, takes the first pitch over the inside half of the plate for a strike. It's 0-1. Lefty versus lefty. Gamble stands way in the back of that box, but pretty much in the center of it. His stance is slightly open toward first base. And the next one misses away to Gamble. Having a great weekend. 4 for 8 against Gonzaga. 6 runs batted in. Hit a home run yesterday. Sooners have hit 5 homers on the weekend. You talk about veteran. This guy has been around. His second season as a Sooner. 1-2 the count on him now. 3 home runs already this year. He hit 4 all of last season, coming from Salt Lake Community College. And the 1-2 is downstairs.
And that's what you see, right? You got a 1-2 slider in the dirt. There's no chance he's swinging at that. Guy really separates balls from strikes at an elite level.
10 walks this year after walking 49 times last year for Gamble. No score. Bases are clear with 1 away, and Gamble swings through that one. Looked like another changeup at about, 84, 85 miles an hour, and he's gotten a couple of Sooners with that pitch.
Right, he's just trying to fight that off. Looks back in the catcher's mitts thinking he got above it, but ends up coming up short.
So that is 3 strikeouts in 5 outs so far for Karsten Swim. And with 2 gone and the bases clear, Drew Dickerson, the DH today, stands in from the right side. Check swing, fastball that's called a little bit outside. Drew Dickerson didn't play on Friday night, then pinch hit in yesterday's game, wound up getting a couple of at-bats and was 1 for 2. It's his first start of the series this afternoon. He takes A fastball. Maybe took a little bit off that fastball on the inner half, and it's 1-1 to Drew Dickerson. So valuable to be able to have a guy like this that you can just plug in. Drew Dickerson homered last weekend against Coppin State, the middle game of that 3-game series. The 1-1 is pulled toward third and foul.
Yeah, I think it's a guy that Russ Raley, Reggie Willits want to keep getting into the lineup. He's got power to all fields. Both of his home runs have been backside this year, but he's got the ability to pull the baseball with backspin, a guy that gives you a tough out.
Several guys like that, you feel like. We were talking with Skip Johnson about Deshaun Harris, who's that similar role. Bring him off the bench, give him a spot start as Dickerson takes down and away and the count squares at 2-2.
Incredibly difficult to do, right? It's kind of a similar situation that I was in when I was playing, just finding a way to stay hot and keep your timing. It really speaks to the fact these guys care about each other and care about the opportunities they do get.
2-2 pitch misses downstairs, as Skip Johnson said. You know, you do that, you stay in it, and be prepared when you're called upon. The game pays you back.
Really does. Baseball gods are a real thing.
Full count. Bases empty, 2 gone. No score here in the bottom of the second inning, and the pitch. Low and away. That's a patient at bat. That was a close pitch to Drew Dickerson, but he becomes the first Oklahoma base runner this afternoon. He draws a 2-out walk.
You're absolutely right. Patient at bat. Love to see that from him. He's a guy that's normally characterized as a free swinger, but just good bat to ball skills. That time he demonstrates the eye at the plate, takes it confidently. 390.
And anytime the Sooner outfielders/DHs get aboard, they're a threat to run. As Nolan Stevens climbs in from the left side. Lefty-lefty matchup and a strike. Fastball on the inner half to Nolan. Didn't play Friday and then had 3 hits yesterday, including a home run. Swim deals outside. Sooners lead the SEC in stolen bases with an even 40. This offense has hit 17 home runs. They've homered in 9 out of 11 games so far this year. And the wind's blowing out today. Now a throw over. The first baseman is Landon White. He's probably a step inside the bag toward the pitcher's mound as he takes that throw. So not right on top of the bag. 1-1 pitch is outside.
Yeah, I like the technique over at first base. Kind of gives you a little bit of a step to field your position towards the 4-hole. If you're going to take a pickoff throw from the pitcher, you're just slapping the tag, kind of a backhand, right to the base.
Nolan Stevens holds that bat down on his left shoulder as the pitcher goes into his wind. He readies himself and fires and fouls it out of play. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Nolan.
It's a really good get for the Mississippi State Bulldogs last year. Nolan Stevens, younger brother of Grant Stevens, GA now.
It was a pretty easy recruiting sales pitch.
Hey, bro.
What you doing? Got to find out. I meant to ask, are they living together, or is that a little bit too close?
I don't know. I think it's a fine question to ask.
Yeah.
Not
too personal?
Yeah, I think you just assume it, right?
I would. Although I'm not sure that my brother would have wanted to live with me in college. I know I wouldn't.
Especially if he was my coach. Like,
yeah.
Hey, man, I don't.
Yeah.
I listen to what you tell me all day long.
You're right. That bears some investigation as Nolan fouls this one down the left field line. Count stays 2-2. 2 gone, no score, and a runner at first base for the Sooners. Who checked his swing on a pretty good changeup there. That's called a ball. I think everybody flinched on that pitch.
Yeah, CJ Burdett disagrees. Zone seems a little bit tight through this first 1.5 innings.
Now we get the payoff pitch. So Dickerson will be on the move from first. There he goes. 3-2. Back up the middle. Base hit into center field. Up with it is going to come Meffert. Russell Raley will give Dickerson the stop sign at third, and the Sooners with a little two-out rally going here. A walk to Dickerson, who heads to third on the base hit, which is the first of the game for the Sooners by Nolan Stevens.
Yeah, it's just playing pepper. It's 94 over the middle. He's not trying to do too much with it. Just use the middle of the field. Go first to third, Drew Dickerson. Now we got a scoring chance with Walk.
Here is Jason Walk. Love to get Jay Walk going, and maybe yesterday did that. He had a double for his first hit of the series this weekend. Sooner runners at the corners with 2 down in the second and no score. Walk takes upstairs. Batting down in the number 8 spot today. Two runs driven in for Walk this year. Bouncing ball to third, a hot shot, but gloved by Bell. He goes across to first, and the inning is over. So the Sooners try to mount a 2-out threat, but Swim induces the hard-hit ground ball to third off the bat of Walk, and we remain scoreless, headed to the third in Norman between Oklahoma and Gonzaga. And this is Sooner baseball from Learfield.
Looking for one of the best burgers in Norman? Pull into the Garage, where everything's made fresh and the beers are always cold. From onion burgers to tacos to loaded fries and rad hour every day from 11 to 6.
The Garage, fast, fresh, and full of flavor. The Garage, burgers, beers, and more. Tune in every Friday to hear more about the Hal Smith Restaurant Group during The Rush and the Dari Noka Show on The Ref.
Fowler Automotive is proud to be a part of your community, where our passion and values lie far beyond the showroom. We believe that families, sports, art, and culture are at the heart of every thriving community, and it's important.
Navigating that, accepts the contact, as you will, for the first out of this inning.
That'll bring in the catcher today, Reese Schurman. As we said, his first appearance of the weekend, right-handed hitter. And there's a fastball at the belt for a strike from Cord Rager. Long look in this time. Pitch clock is actually under 5 before he goes into the motion. And they appeal down to first on a check swing by Schurman. It is a strike called. Morris Hodges, the first base umpire, rung him up, and it's 0-2.
It's kind of a swift uppercut, wasn't it?
It was. Kind of confused me. 0-2 is upstairs. Almost a karate chop type of maneuver back there.
Yeah, pretty aggressive. Like, hey.
I would agree.
Not fighting that guy.
Maybe too aggressive. And a ball and 2 strikes now on Schurman. Rager. Wave and a miss. He couldn't hold up. It was a drop third strike. That's how good that pitch was. Brendan Brock couldn't come up with it, but it was too enticing for Schurman to hold up. And that's 2 down.
Yeah, Rager living on the outside part of the zone, that at bat. Fastball away for the most majority of it. Then goes changeup down low for strike 3.
Third strikeout for Rager. Back to the top of the order with the bases empty and 2 gone. Noah Meffert, the batter. No score here in the top of the third. And the first pitch is upstairs to Noah Meffert. How many changeups have we seen from Rager today? You were saying a moment ago he's trying to go mainly fastball the first time through the lineup.
Right. You don't want to give everything you got to the first part of the lineup. Now you got to try to mix it in. You know, you're going to see the cutter trying to get guys off the fastball and then utilize that slider the second time through.
It's a swing and a miss by Meffert, who struck out his first time and is 1 for 8 this weekend. 1-1 the count. Rager's pitch swung on and missed. And Meffert has just had some trouble coming up with the fastball so far. 1-2 to the Gonzaga center fielder. Cord Rager. Ready to roll. Pumps it in. And a flare that's going to land over the head of the Sooner second baseman Kyle Branch in right center field. And Noah Meffert has a 2-out single for the Bulldogs here in the third, just as Ricky Sanchez had a 2-out single for Gonzaga in the second.
Yeah, it's probably the 20th fastball Meffert has seen today. He finally times it up. This is a good piece of hitting right there. 95 on the black, goes down and gets it.
So 2 hits for the Bulldogs. And with a runner at first and 2 gone, the third baseman Mikey Bell gets a chance. Back to the stretch goes Rager, left-hander to right-hander. And a changeup that misses outside. Mikey Bell is 2 for 8 this weekend. Homered on Friday. We've got no score in the top of the third. Bulldogs have 2 hits and the Sooners have 1. The 1-0 is a fastball that's a little bit outside. That outside corner has not been granted by C.J. Burdett, but it hasn't been granted to either pitcher.
Yeah, he's got to get in a groove, right? And I think you live more and more out that way. He sees that slot. He's kind of looking away to that left-hander batter's box. See if he can get used to it.
There goes Meffert. The pitch is swung on and hit foul down the right field line. It'll get out of play. So with the 2-0 count, the Bulldogs see an opportunity with 2 gone to put the runner in motion. Two balls and a strike on Mikey Bell as Meffert returns to first and Rager readies. Instead, he'll throw to first. And Noah Meffert is back into the bag. Meffert 2 for 3 in the stolen base department this year. Mikey Bell has been the second leading hitter on this Gonzaga team. 10 hits on the year, 3 runs driven in, and he hits a high, hard one to left field. And Gamble has to turn and wave goodbye to this one. That's a blast. It got more over into left center field near the scoreboard. And Gonzaga takes a 2-0 lead on a 2-run home run by Mikey Bell in the third. It's his second home run. And RBIs 4 and 5 for the Gonzaga third baseman.
Yeah, it's a fastball at 92 right over the middle. Mikey Bell proving that he can elevate to pull side and does it again. Bangs that off the scoreboard.
So the 2-out rally here, the base hit by Meffert and the 2-run home run by Bell. And the Bulldogs break on top. In is the left fielder and number 3 hitter, Ryder Young. He takes the first pitch upstairs from Cord Rager. The 1-0 is also upstairs. Sooners have not given up many home runs. They have given up 6 on the year, now 7 after that one. And 4 of those were in the Arizona State opener back on Tuesday as Skip Johnson walks out of the dugout. Face-to-face conversation here with Cord Rager.
Yeah, it's just a get-right visit. Gave him 2 pitches to get back in the zone. Now you just got to get him settled back in. Get to strike 1 right here.
We'll take a moment to remind you that the University of Oklahoma and Sooner Sports Properties would like to thank our concession partners, Dos Equis, Dickey's Barbecue Pit, Shakes Frozen Custard, Gin and Juice, Pizza Hut, HTO, Coop Ale Works, Kona Ice, and Rock and Roll Tequila. So Skip Johnson back to the dugout as the plate umpire C.J. Burdett comes out to break up the conversation. 2-0 Gonzaga, top of the third. And Rager misses upstairs, 3-0. See anything about what's going on with him? I know he's out of the stretch now, but he had to go that way in the second also.
Yeah, I think it's just a release point, right? The motion seems the same. He's just trying to find where that fastball is missing. Sometimes you get a little bit shell-shocked. You leave it over the middle. You try to get too cute with it.
Strike 1 is in there, back with the 3-1, and that's a foul ball by Ryder Young. So the count is full. Base is empty. 2 down and 2 runs in for the Bulldogs. The 3-2 in the air, left center field. Center fielder Jason Walk was somewhat around toward right center, but he ventures all the way across center field and makes the catch in left center. Inning over. Walk puts it away. 2-run home run by Mikey Bell has the Bulldogs on top in this series finale. It is 2-0 Gonzaga. Headed to the bottom of the third, and this is Sooner baseball from Learfield.
Eyes Life.
Kyle Branch steps into the home half of the third with a 2-run deficit. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access pass to Sooner Sports. Listen to Toby and Chris Plank to talk all things Sooners. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino.
So Kyle Branch shows bunt, takes the first pitch from Karsten Swim outside for ball one. Branch's first plate appearance of the day. Took yesterday off, played on Friday, and was 1 for 3 in the series opener. 2-0 Gonzaga, bottom of the third inning. Bulldogs have a 2-run home run from Mikey Bell that they got with 2 outs in the top half of this inning. Branch takes the next one away, and the count is 2-0 to the Sooners' second baseman. Branch batting .200 with a home run and 4 runs driven in. Karsten Swim deals him a strike. Swim so far has struck out 3. He gave a walk and a base hit to Nolan Stevens in the second. Sooners had runners at the corners but could not get a run pushed across. Here's the 2-1. Branch lifts one into right center field. The right fielder Maddox Haley jogs in and makes the catch for the first out. Fairly shallow right field. Wind kind of blowing that one away from him.
Saw 4 pitches. Guy like this in Schwim, you want to try to get that pitch count up early. He's up to 40 to start this third inning. Try to get to that bullpen, get him out of there.
To the top of the Sooner lineup, and Camden Johnson, .394 hitter, a pair of home runs, including an inside the park run yesterday. Swings at the first pitch and misses. A little sweeper, slow curve, slower slider. Is that what that is, Blake?
Yeah, a little slider. It's the pitch that he got Camden Johnson out on the first at bat. Can't blame Schwim for going right back to it to get strike 1.
Lefty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed as he comes over the inner half with that. That was a little harder breaking pitch on the inner half.
I put my money on he's getting another one right here.
0-2 to Camden Johnson. Struck out back in the first. And takes the 0-2. You said off the air as that pitch missed outside. Haven't seen Camden Johnson get fooled that much this year. So you know that Karsten Swim's got pretty good stuff.
Yeah, and left on left is tough. He's a big left-hander. It's kind of hard to see his release point. Got to get that head around a little bit.
1-2. He spoils one, fouls it off. It rolls off either his foot or the catcher. Back toward the pitcher's mound it goes for a foul ball. One down and the base is clear here, and a 1-2 count on Johnson.
He hasn't seen lefty velo, right? When you see a lefty, it's normally 92 tops, but you got a guy that's Schwinn that's throwing up to 95. It's tough to get up to, especially with a good breaker that he's shown.
1-2 outside and 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swim 0-1 record coming in, ERA of 5.59. 7 walks and 8 strikeouts. He'd worked 9 2/3 innings through a couple of starts so far for the Bulldogs this year. Looked good so far against the Sooners. The 2-2 whacked foul as he slices it out of play over the third base side, extending the at-bat.
Yeah, you see that swing right there. It's a good adjustment. He's finally found the release point of that slider. Look for him to keep fighting that thing off.
Camden Johnson climbs back in, leading things off in the Sooner third. The 2-2 pitch from Karsten Swim. Swings and misses. That's a fastball. So Camden Johnson 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts against Swim, who has struck out 4 Sooner hitters to this point.
Yeah, it's tough to swallow as a hitter going down two strikeouts in the first 2 at-bats. But that was a good one. He saw a lot, kind of understanding the shape of the breaking ball, just kind of chases the fastball up over his hands.
So the bases are empty. 2 down for the catcher, Brendan Brock. And right back with another fastball in a lefty to righty matchup. Brendan Brock 2 for 5, 3 runs batted in this weekend. Homered on Friday, struck out his first time here today. And the 0-1. That's another fastball. Outer half of the plate quickly 0-2. Brock batting A hefty 375, tied for the Sooner team lead with 3 home runs. He has driven in 14 runs, which is the second most on this club. And the 0-2. That one just missed a little bit upstairs. That was a good take on a close pitch.
Yeah, it's going to be the setup pitch. I think he's going to get the slider here, which on Friday night he hit a long home run on a slider way out front. It's an impressive thing to watch.
One-two, hit in the air towards center field. Back and to his right goes Noah Meffert. Pulls up about 10 feet from the warning track and makes the catch. And the Sooners go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Gonzaga on top as we move to the fourth in Norman. Today's game broadcast is brought to you by the OU Community Cornerstone Partners, Fowler Auto Group, OG&E, OU Health, and Coca-Cola. University of Oklahoma Athletics, one with you. This is Sooner Baseball from Learfield.
For the professional, it's not enough to just possess
of OU Athletics, and it's located on the west side of Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Online shopping is always available as well at shop.soonersports.com. Sun's starting to poke its head out from behind the clouds here at Kemry Family Stadium. 2-0 Gonzaga, and the Bulldogs bat to start the top of the fourth. And freshman Corey Rager throws a fastball by the DH Luca DiPolo. 0-1 the count. DiPolo flied to center field back in the second inning. The 0-1. Swing and a miss over the top of that one. And no balls and 2 strikes. Gonzaga got a 2-run home run from Mikey Bell in the top of the third with 2 outs. That's the only scoring to this point. 0-2 pitch to DiPolo is low and away. Wind blowing heavily toward left field today. There's the 1-2, swung on and missed. In on his hands, kind of tied him up with a fastball that time.
That's the cutter. Good job by Skip Johnson getting in his big freshman's ear in a half-inning break, being able to get him back in the zone, staying with the cutter to get the guys off the fastball. Good sequence.
And that's 4 strikeouts for Cord Rager today. Second baseman Hudson Shoup is in. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. A lefty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. So the improvements continue. Kemry Family Stadium, you'll be able to see them all season long, and then they'll really get busy, of course, in the offseason. The 0-1 pitch, off-speed pitch. I don't know where that one missed, but called a ball, and it's 1-1. We'll have L. Mitchell Plaza here at the stadium, the new clubhouse down the right field line. Already see the bullpens as the 1-1 pitch. Man, that one. Breaking pitch that missed inside. That's a couple that are very close, and I think Rager's shaking his head a little bit about those two.
Yeah, you got Skip Johnson reacting as well. Got to find a way to get this thing to open up a little bit to help Rager out.
The 2-1. Slashed foul and out of play. Fans can bring their lawn chairs and sit up top on the berm. The really grassy areas out there on the hill are roped off. We got to grow some sod over there, and then down right field way, it's under construction. There's a fence partially around outside the right field bullpen. The 2-2 pitch, again, sliced foul and out of play. But you can bring your lawn chair and sit out there right behind the right center and left center field fences, Blake.
Yeah, we got some fans still fan of the Classic. They're not coming down to the fence line, Chad. They're staying up there on top where they can see, get a good view. It's a really, really good day for baseball out here.
The 2-2 is rolled toward the second baseman, Kyle Branch. Easy play for the second out here in the fourth inning as Hudson Shoup is retired by Cord Rager. So, 2 down, bases clear. Before we go any further, we need to pause 10 seconds for station identification as we approach the 2 o'clock hour. This is Oklahoma baseball.
You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Alongside the former Sooner Blake Brewster and in for Toby Rowland today, I'm Chad McKee at Kemry Family Stadium. 2-0 Gonzaga. The Bulldogs have 2 down and the base is empty in the top of the fourth inning. And the batter is Ricky Sanchez. He came up with a 2-out single in the second, but was left stranded. Here he hits a flare. Willett spears it on a short hop. Running, throws to first. Beautifully done Oh, he got that nice turf bounce, played it on that one hop, kind of an in-betweener there. And Jackson Willits played it perfectly to get the final out in the fourth inning. 2-0 Bulldogs on top as we head to the last of the fourth in Norman. This is Sooner Baseball from Learfield.
There's a big deal going on at Whataburger. Our new Big Ranch Wrap is just $3 with a crispy chicken.
Trade-in appraisals. Finding your next Ford is easy. Come see us at Fowler Ford Tulsa, where top quality vehicles and unbeatable service are always waiting.
Oklahoma Athletics would like to thank the official Eat, Play, Stay partners, Hal Smith Restaurants, Visit Norman, Cup Pop, Norman NCED, Midway Deli, and visit Soonersports.com for more information.
2-0 Gonzaga leads it. Sooners headed to the plate in the bottom of the fourth inning. And the first pitch from Karsten Swim is in there to the Sooner right-handed batting first baseman Dayton LaChance, who popped up to first baseman Landon White back in the first. 3, 4, and 5 in the Sooner order headed to the plate in the fourth as they try to make up a 2-run deficit. Next pitch is downstairs from Karsten Swim. Swim has been good, obviously. 3 innings, 1 hit, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. LaChance takes this one inside. Dayton LaChance was your Sooner to watch, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, looking for him to elevate to the pull side one time. Get that thing going.
21 home runs in junior college a season ago. 2-1 is pulled, hit hard on the ground to third, but backhanded by Mikey Bell just inside the bag. The throw to first pulled Landon White up a little bit, but it was in plenty of time for White to stay on the bag and retire LaChance for the first out in the fourth inning.
It's a good swing by LaChance. It's a hard ground ball backspun to Mikey Bell over there at third base. Got to find some way to break through.
That's 5 in a row retired by Karsten Swim as he deals to the Sooner cleanup man Jackson Willits with the bases empty and 1 gone in the fourth. Willits goes after the first pitch. Comes up empty. A little breaking pitch on the outer half.
Yeah, a little change up away. He's done a nice job of spotting 3 pitches up for strikes, being able to do whatever he wants.
Jackson popped up to Hudson Shoup, the second baseman, his first time. Hits this one on the ground to his shortstop counterpart, Sanchez, at straightaway short. And Sanchez throws him out. 2 gone.
That's the fastball right there. Another well-hit ball, just right at somebody.
Trey Gamble, the Sooner left fielder, is in with the bases empty and 2 away. Seeing 2 different breaking pitches from Swim, or just maybe a little different angle a couple of times?
I keep watching the guys to look back to the dugout, kind of tell you what the shape of it is, but it seems like just a different velo on the slider.
This is a lefty-lefty matchup with Gamble, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike.
Of course, it looks like he's coming from the Eiffel Tower, so it's tough to tell from up here.
He has done a good job mixing up that first pitch. Sometimes fastball. We've seen the changeup to the prior hitter. And he's been able to get Camden Johnson a couple of times with that sweeper, that slider.
Right.
This pitch is in on the hands and fouled off quickly. 0-2 on Gamble.
And that's what you can do when you can spot 3 things up for strikes, right? Like, you can keep guys off balance. That's your goal as a pitcher. Keep them off their timing.
Gamble just trying to see a few pitches and keep Cord Rager in the dugout for a couple of moments, because the first 2 Sooners have gone quickly on ground balls. 0-2. Called strike 3. Got him looking. And Karsten Swim is dealing through 4. He's given the Sooners just a hit and a walk, and he has his Bulldogs out to a 2-0 lead, moving to the 5th inning at Kemry Family Stadium in Norman. You're listening to Sooner Baseball from Learfield.
After a car crash, life can be hard. You're hurt, stressed, and then, when you need help the most, the insurance company doesn't care.
They drag their feet, question.
Don't in Norman.
Your 4-inning totals from Norman for the leading Gonzaga Bulldogs. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on the base paths. The homestanding Sooners, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on. Gonzaga coming to the plate with the lower third of the lineup here. And Sooner freshman lefty Cord Rager misses outside. to Landon White, the first baseman. He grounded out to Kyle Branch at second base his first time today. Rager has pitched 5 innings in each of his first 2 starts, and that's a hard-hit one-opper to the shortstop, Willits. His throw to first is in time, so White swings at the second pitch from Cord Rager, and he is retired on a ground ball for the second time today. 1 away in the 5th inning. I've been trying to get to the SEC scoreboard for a couple of innings, but there are 15 other games. It could take me 2 innings at the pace of this game, Blake.
You're going to have to split it into halves, so we'll do 1 in the top half, 1 in the bottom.
Okay, we'll go with that. As Maddox Healy, the right fielder, is in. He swings at the first pitch and whacks it foul out of play. Our SEC scoreboard presented by Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. Texas A&M, by the way, suffered its first loss of the season to UCLA last night. Updated games from today is the 1-0 pitch, or the 0-1 pitch is in there for a called strike. St. John's and Kentucky are playing in Lexington, 3-1. 22nd ranked Kentucky leads that one. They're in the 8th inning. Florida and Miami hooking up again. They're just getting started at Alex Rodriguez Park down in Coral Gables. No score early in that one. Here's the 0-2 pitch a little bit outside. How about Georgia and Oakland, as Georgia, the 11th-ranked Bulldogs, are going for a 3-game sweep of Oakland, 3-2 in the 6th inning of that one in Athens. Second-ranked LSU, 2-0 over Dartmouth in the 7th down in Baton Rouge. As this one is fouled off by Haley, that keeps the count at 0-2. Nebraska and Auburn are playing in Auburn. What a fun set that is. And the 7th-ranked Tigers lead 5-0. They are in the 4th inning already. South Carolina and Clemson just getting started in Clemson today, and they have no score. The 1-2 pitch here. Again, fouled out of play. Boy, I tell you, Maddox Haley's doing me a favor getting through this scoreboard. Games coming up later. Vanderbilt and Oregon. 3rd-ranked Texas taking on Ohio State down in Houston today. 4th-ranked Mississippi State and number 1 UCLA are playing at Globe Life in Arlington. Alabama and Houston are in Frisco later today. Arizona State, 23rd-ranked Texas A&M, also in Arlington later on tonight. As this one is popped up by Haley. Foul ground down the right field line and caught by Dayton LaChance. The Sooner first baseman just kind of hung with that one all the way over to the warning track, and the wind kept that in the playing field for LaChance to be able to put away out number 2 with the bases empty. And we've got finals, 9-2 Coastal Carolina over number 25 Ole Miss. That was down there in Houston earlier today. Number 20 Tennessee 3-1 over Virginia Tech at Globe Life in Arlington. And 6th-ranked Arkansas 14-1 over UT Arlington in a run rule earlier. Hey, the inning's over because that's a ground ball from Reese Shurman to the shortstop Jackson Willits. And Rager works a 1-2-3 5th inning. Blake Brewster didn't get to say even a word. That inning was so fast. How about we are midway through this one at Kimry Family Stadium. The Bulldogs lead the Sooners 2-0. Oklahoma coming to the plate right around the corner. This is Sooner baseball from Learfield.
Speaking of technology, did you know that RK Black is an authorized
364-9999 means Home Creations.
Passionate fans and iced Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
As we enjoy the 5th inning, the Sooners trying to enjoy some offense, trailing 2-0 to Gonzaga in this series finale. And right-hand batting DH Drew Dickerson in for Oklahoma. Walked his first time here. Takes a fastball for a strike from Karsten Swim. Left-hander to right-hander to start the 5th. And that one misses upstairs. 1-1 the count. Dickerson with his 4th plate appearance of the weekend. 1 for 2 officially. Sooners had runners at the corners with 2 down in the 2nd and could not get anything done against Swim, who deals inside here to Dickerson. And the count is 2-1. There is activity out in the Sooner bullpen, but not the Bulldogs pen. As we said, Cord Rager has not gone past 5 innings in any of his Sooner starts, and he has hit the 5th. So we'll see if Oklahoma goes to the pen. This one is lined out toward right, leaping at the warning track. Maddox Haley with some style points as he pulls in the running grab back toward the Gonzaga bullpen in straightaway right field. 1 away.
That's a really good play out there by Haley. Kind of feels himself running out of room. Takes a little bit of a leap. Don't think he had to, but that wall's creeping up.
getting a couple of little better swings against Swim, who's been tidy so far for Gonzaga. Base is empty and one down for Nolan Stevens, left-hand batting right fielder. Lefty-lefty matchup. Nolan takes a strike. Again, it's that mix on the first pitch.
Right. Keeping guys off balance. We talked about it in the break. You want to see some pitches, but you start seeing pitches, you're down 0-2. So you got to find a way to mix it up a little bit. Good swing by Dickerson there. Maybe drop a bunt down here and there. Get him off his rhythm.
Stevens takes this one outside. He has the lone Sooner hit. 2-out single back in the second. And 4 hits on the weekend. He's 4 for 4, in fact, with a home run this weekend. Didn't play in the Friday game. The 1-1 pitch, a little bit inside. Nolan Stevens, the Mississippi State transfer. He hit 4 home runs last year as a Bulldog. He's already hit 2 as a Sooner, and he's driven in 8, batting .381. And the 2-1 lashes this one out of play, headed toward what used to be the full Oklahoma bullpen. And the little practice field that they have outside the current clubhouse down the left field line.
It's a really good hack right there by Stevenson.
Here's the 2-2. Low and in. Full count. Jason Walk waiting on deck as the Sooners try to kickstart the offense in the bottom of the 5th inning. Gonzaga has a 2-run home run from Mikey Bell back in the 3rd, the lone scoring we've seen. Payoff pitch headed to Nolan. Spoiled one, trying to work that one away from him, and he hit it into the turf in front of home plate, and a foul ball. Plate umpire C.J. Burdett out to get a fresh supply of baseballs and flip one to Karsten Swim. Fans are starting to get into it. I think we've hit church and lunch, and now a few more fans matriculating into Camry Family Stadium. The payoff for Stevens. Roller the opposite way to 3rd. Bell is up with it. And the peg was a little bit down the line toward home plate, but White was able to keep his back foot on the bag, and they record out number 2 in the 5th.
Pretty good at bat by there, Stevens. Was more selective. Just because you can make contact doesn't mean it's a good pitch to swing at. Right? He waited for a fastball to get elevated, fouled it off. I think he was just fighting there, got jammed.
Switch hitting Sooner center fielder Jason Walk batting right against the left-hander Karsten Swim with the bases empty and 2 gone. And Jay Walk takes a strike. He grounded out to Mikey Bell, the third baseman, his first time. Nine Sooners in a row retired by Swim. And a changeup there that Walk just got a piece of. He fouled it into the glove of the catcher, Sureman. And so Walk is in a hole 0-2. And Swim threatening to work his 3rd consecutive 1-2-3 inning on the bump for the Bulldogs. From the extreme right-handed side of the pitching rubber, he deals 2 tall with a fastball to Walk. Trying to see the activity out in the Sooner bullpen. It looks like Caden Leon is throwing. We had a good midweek relief stint against Arizona State a few days ago. 1-2 to Walk. Went after that one. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. 10 straight retired by Karsten Swim. And the Sooners are scoreless. Headed to the 6th. The Bulldogs have 2 runs and a 2-0 lead. This is Sooner baseball from Learfield.
Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of taking your money. Hi, this is Will Gosney with Yala Gosney Attorneys at Law. Have you ever had an...
The fastball's up to 94. He's got a more true 12-6 breaking ball that he keeps guys off balance with. We'll mix in a changeup here and there.
So Corden Rager goes 5 innings in his start, his 3rd start of the year. 3 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. He had no walks and 4 strikeouts. He gave up only the base hit and then the 2-run home run by Mikey Bell. That's where we sit, headed to the top of the 6th. Caden Leon's first pitch is in there for a strike. Starts him with the breaking pitch. He's at the top of the order for the center fielder, Noah Meffert. Right-handed batter who is 1 for 2, and he scored on the home run by Bell. He had a single, and he lines this one toward left field. Trey Gamble dives in. Did he catch it? He did. Just off the turf, a diving stab by Trey Gamble. The second base umpire, David Savage, had a long look, waited to make sure that he kept possession of it. But that is out number 1, a line out on a diving play by Trey Gamble.
Yeah, it's a really good swing by Meffert. That ball's kind of top spun into left field. Good break on the ball. Gamble able to make that play for the first out.
And here's Bell, who hit the 2-run home run in the third. And he starts him with a slider for a strike. Pretty good-looking pitch there from Leon.
Yeah, it's a guy that can keep a pitch you can keep guys off balance with.
The 0-1, low and away. Leon working out of the windup here. He kind of rocks back, and then as he comes sideways, he pauses for just a second and then brings it home.
Just trying to gather himself. That curveball comes right out of the same spot as his fastball. Tough to pick up.
And the 1-1. Breaking pitch low and away to Mikey Bell. In addition to the home run, Bell has grounded out. So Bell has homered twice this weekend. He's driven in 4 runs. He has been the biggest part of the Bulldogs offense. 2 balls and a strike. Base hit back up the middle. Jason Walk comes up with it in center field. 2-hit day for Mikey Bell. He's got 4 hits in the 3-game series. And he is aboard with 1 away for the number 3 batter, Ryder Young.
It's a veteran at bat by Mikey Bell. Sees 4 curveballs, finally times one up on a 2-1 count for his second hit of the day.
Bulldogs have 4 hits. Bell has half of them. And here's Ryder Young, 0 for 2 today. He is fouled out to the first baseman LaChance and flied out to the center fielder Walk. Leon misses outside. There's no activity in the Sooner bullpen, but for the first time today, the Gonzaga bullpen stirs to life out there in right field. Again, the wind blowing out toward straightaway left today. And that's where the home run by Bell went. The 1-0 pitch is a little bit outside. Now, Bell, he got all of it when he hit it out in the top of the third.
Yeah, he didn't need help getting over the yellow line. He just needed help hitting the scoreboard. That thing was crushed, man.
And he's the runner at first with 1 away. The 2-0 back with a good 96-mile-per-hour fastball down in the zone. So 2-1 to Ryder Young. 3 for 9 this weekend. He had the only hit for Gonzaga yesterday against L.J. Mercurius. And he had 2 hits on Friday. There's a throw over to Chase Bell back in at first. Ryder Young batting .265. Home run, 6 runs batted in. He's a junior out of Upland, California. Bell edges from first, held on over there by LaChance. And the 2-1. Line to the second baseman Branch. He caught it. The throw to first is in time to double off the runner Bell. It's a line-out double play off the bat of Ryder Young, who scalded that ball, but it was an atom ball. And the Sooners turn their 8th double play of the season. It is no runs on a hit and nobody left for the Bulldogs.
Planet Fitness is a proud partner of Sooner Baseball with multiple locations in Oklahoma. Planet Fitness can help you with whatever you're getting stronger for. Join today.
Sooners need the bats to come to life. Only 1 hit off of Karsten Swim so far. And the left-hander's ready to deal to the number 9 batter, Kyle Branch. And he deals a strike, a fastball. Kyle Branch flied to right field. And Maddox Haley, his first time up today in the 3rd inning. A home run and 4 runs batted in for Kyle Branch. 10 straight retired by Karsten Swim. And he deals a fastball low this time. Kyle Branch was on the SEC All-Freshman team last year. In his first season in Norman, batted .288, 64 hits, and was a perfect 14 for 14 in the stolen base department. Swim's 1-1, pulled foul toward the Sooner dugout over on the first base side. Kyle's been a Sooner fan all his life. His brother Colby started his career, did Colby at Baylor, and then became a Georgia Bulldog. Got to play against each other last year. I don't know, is it got to or had to play against each other?
Definitely had to, if you're asking me at least.
It was definitely had to for the family.
Right. You got the split baseball jerseys and stuff like that. Yeah, good stuff.
2 balls, 2 strikes here to Kyle leading things off. Sooners will get back to the top of the lineup here in this inning. And the 2-2 is low. Only 1 walk issued so far by Swim. 6 strikeouts and only 1 hit given. By far his best start of the year against the best competition that he has faced this year. Payoff pitch. Fouled that one off the mask of the catcher, Sherman. Sooners ranked anywhere from 10th to 13th in the polls this week. Off to this 10-1 start. 6 run rule victories amongst their 10 wins, including both games this weekend. But a different story so far today because of the guy on the mound, Karsten Swim. His payoff pitch fouled back by Kyle Branch.
Yeah, Swim's had his ace off today, right? Been able to spot up 3 pitches for strikes. That pitch counted up to 75 in this inning. Kyle Branch doing a nice job of trying to extend this at bat.
Crowd into it at Kemry Family Stadium. Kyle Branch leading off the Sooner bottom of the 6th inning. And another foul ball back. We invite you to get your kids into the game and behind the scenes by joining the OG&E Sooner Kids Club today, presented in part by Orthodontics, exclusively in Devon Energy. Sooner Kids Club delivers exclusive behind-the-scenes access, year-round ticket offers, Sooners gear, and more. Learn more at Soonersports.com/kidsclub. Payoff pitch. Fouled out of play again by Kyle Branch, and one of the better at-bats the Sooners have had today.
Yeah, he's up to 7 or 8 pitches right now. It's been mostly fastball since it's ran full. Look for Swim to change it up right here.
So another payoff pitch to Kyle Branch. Fouls another one back. That is 5 foul balls off the bat of Kyle Branch. Not a huge pitch count. Now 75 is where they have Karsten Swim today. He has had the Sooners off balance. Another payoff pitch. Swing and a miss at an elevated fastball that time. Strikeout number 7 for Karsten Swim after a battle with Branch.
Yeah, tongue-in-cheek as you're taking the walk back to the dugout, but that's a really good at-bat by Kyle Branch. Extending the pitch count right there, 10-plus pitches. Gotta love to see it.
3rd time through the order now for Swim as he faces the Sooner leadoff man, Camden Johnson, who he has struck out swinging twice today. Tough lefty-lefty matchup. And that's been the pitch right there, that one that moves away toward the outer half. Strike 1.
Yeah, it's given Camden Johnson fits all day long. 2 strikeouts. That was a little bit out. I don't think Camden liked that.
The 0-1. Low and in. A ball and a strike. Oklahoma softball is playing just across the way at Loves Field. They've scored 107 runs in 5 games this weekend. I think they had a 21-run inning yesterday. But they're going on at the same time against Southeastern Louisiana. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's slashed out of play. 1-2 on Camden Johnson. Sooner women's basketball is playing here in about 30 minutes at Missouri. It's the regular season finale for Jenny Baranchek's Sooners, who are getting hot at the right time. 5 straight wins for them to close out the regular season. The 1-2 for Camden Johnson. Pulled toward first and foul. Bryce Madron over there coaching first. Clean pickup right in front of the Gonzaga dugout. A lot of pressure over there. You got the opposing dugout. You know, they're kind of getting on you.
Yeah.
And you know they're really going to get on you if you misplay it.
It better be a candy hop if I'm going to try to field it. I'm not taking that.
Another 1-2 pitch. Right at the shortstop, Sanchez on about 3 hops. He guns it over to first to get the speedy Camden Johnson, but that's 2 down, and 12 straight retired by Karsten Swim.
It's been a lot of weak contact. Another showing right there. Ricky Sanchez, easy play for out number 2.
And the batter will be the Sooner catcher, Brendan Brock, with the bases empty and 2 down. 2-0 Gonzaga on a 2-run home run by Mikey Bell in the top of the 3rd. 5 total hits for these 2 teams and only 1 for the Sooners. Brock waves through that breaking pitch on the outer half, 0-1. Brock struck out in the 1st, flied to center field in the 3rd.
Just need a little bit of life, a little 2-out hit, get a runner on base.
Same pitch and same result, swing and a miss. 0-2. Sooners are 1 of 18 at the plate today. Swim has been tough to handle. And his 0-2 bounces up to the plate and off the catcher, Reese Sherman. You know, you're a catcher, you say, I don't mind you wasting a pitch, but do you have to bounce it and hit me?
He's had a pretty easy day behind the plate today. I think he'll be all right.
You did a little bit of catching, I think, as a left-handed catcher, didn't you?
Yeah, when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I got out of there quick. My knees thanked me.
1-2 is up and away. Fastball there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Line and the 2-2 lifted in the air toward left. The wind's got this one. Young is back to the warning track, and this one is high and hard and out of the yard. It's into the Sooner bullpen, and Oklahoma cuts the lead in half on the 2nd home run of the weekend from Brendan Brock. It's 2-1 Gonzaga. A little jolt of energy into the Sooner offense. And that home run is brought to you by Brahms Ice Cream and Dairy Stores. Farm fresh for over 50 years.
This is copy-paste of it was Friday night, Chad. 4th homer on the year, 15 RBIs, just a surge of energy in that Sooner dugout. Great swing.
So Brendan Brock is able to touch off the 18th Oklahoma home run this season. And it's his 4th. He grabs the Sooner lead in the home run category. Now in there is Dayton LaChance. And he takes the first pitch at the belt. You can tell he kind of squatted down, irritated at himself maybe for not swinging at that pitch.
Yeah, that's an elevated one. Something you can just throw up into the jet stream.
The 0-1. And he swings through a high fastball. 0-2. 2-1 Gonzaga in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the 0-2 bounces up there. Ball and 2 strikes to Dayton LaChance.
You can hear Skip in the Nats saying, you and the baseball. You and the baseball. Just trying to find one with 2 strikes. Put a good swing on it.
Dayton has driven in 2 runs this weekend. Down in the count 1-2 against Swim. Hard hit ground ball, and that'll get into center field. Up the middle it goes, just to the shortstop side of second base. Sooners had 1 hit through the first 5 2/3. They have back-to-back hits in the 6th by Brock and LaChance. And they have the tying run aboard with 2 gone for the cleanup man, Jackson Willits.
It's more 2-out hitting, right? They did it all day yesterday, get the big 6-run 4th. Trying to find some life here in the 6th.
Time called now. And we'll have a mound visit. Looks like associate head coach Brandon Harmon, who's in his 14th year on the staff, will walk out. It has been smooth sailing for Karsten Swim, but he has not been to this point in any of his prior starts this year. Looks like maybe just a conversation, though. There is a right-hander who's hot out in the bullpen. That's Landon Hood. Pretty lengthy conversation here. We'll remind you that for all things college baseball, including live games and talk, tune in to Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84, and streaming on the Sirius XM app. So, for now, Swim will stay in the game. Sooners getting a solo home run from Brendan Brock. And the 2-out single from Dayton LaChance. 3 Oklahoma hits, 2 of them in back-to-back at-bats right here. And Jackson Willits with a big opportunity. Lefty to righty. Jackson's 0 for 2 today. Swings and fouls the first pitch off. And I'll go back to that at-bat by Kyle Branch, Blake, to start this inning. He struck out, but what did he see, 10 pitches?
10 pitches, right? You get that Sooner dugout, chances and ability to see pitches. Gives guys like Brendan Brock the ability to see the shape of the curveball. Get it out front.
This pitch a little upstairs, elevated to Jackson Willits. He tripled on Friday. Jackson 2 for 10 in the series. 1-1 the count. LaChance edges from first. First baseman White is a little off the bag, and Willits has a big hack at that fastball. Came up empty, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, timed up to it. The pitch count up north of 100 right now. Just trying to bridge the gap to your setup guy.
Pitch number 102 from Karsten Swim. And Willits has a look at that one outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Willits hitting .333 with a home run and 16 runs driven in. Hit that home run in the midweek series against Arizona State in the first game, and then had the game-winning hit in the bottom of the 9th in Game 2. The 2-2 is too tall, and the count is full. So LaChance will be moving with this pitch. That's what you were going to say, wasn't it?
Absolutely. You see the bat stacking up. 2 out, 2 strike hits by Brock and LaChance. Working to a full count with Jackson Willits.
There goes the runner, and Willits fouls this one off. Not a great pitch, but one you couldn't afford to take, right?
Absolutely. It's too close, especially with the momentum you got in your dugout right now. Just fight to another day.
Love hearing the fans into it. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tying run at first for the Sooners. Gonzaga leads 2-1. Karsten Swim over 100 pitches, deals, and Willits pops one up. Wynn's going to hold this one near the net. The first baseman, White, makes the catch, hanging with the play, and the inning is over. Sooners leave one, but they get one. A solo home run by Brendan Brock in the 6th inning. It is 2-1. Gonzaga on top here at Kemry Family Stadium in Norman, and this is Sooner baseball from Learfield. Out.
It's a good job by LaChance, battling the wind and the sun on that fly ball.
So Leon has come out of the bullpen, induced a line-out double play, and gotten a pop-up from the cleanup man for Gonzaga. It brings in Hudson Shoup, the second baseman. Left-handed hitter, and the right-hander Leon deals a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. Shoup is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. And the 0-1. Good breaking pitch, and it's 0-2. Little activity out in the Sooner bullpen, Blake.
Yeah, looking like Jason Bowden and Gavin Jones out there working.
I'm glad you brought the binoculars. Leon's 0-2. Fastball. And he just got a piece of it, sends it foul up onto the hill over on the third base side. They used to turn the kids loose and let them run down the hill. Now they have to wait until it rolls down like the Plinko machine on the Price is Right show. You know the Plinko machine?
I do.
Okay.
I don't blame them for shutting it down either. You'd see ruts by the time we hit May.
0-2 pitch, a flare out into right, and it's caught by the retreating second baseman, Kyle Branch. Oh, that was a whisker away from landing in shallow right field, and Kyle Branch took it away from Hudson Shoup for out number 2.
He's having a day out there, second base. That was incredible. The very tip of his range, gets on the tip of the glove, holds it in for out number 2.
It may not show up in the box score today, But Kyle Branch, couple of defensive plays and then that at bat. It was a strikeout, but he saw 10 pitches, and it helped lead to the home run. Those things matter, don't they, Blake?
Kind of the unwritten rules, right?
Mm-hmm. Ricky Sanchez, the shortstop, is in. He's 1 for 2, and he takes a strike from Leon. Sanchez 1 for 2 with a single in the second. He's also grounded to short. And the next one is outside, 1-1. Bases are clear, 2 gone. Gonzaga leads 2-1 in the top of the 7th inning. One to Sanchez. Couldn't check. The pitch was upstairs, a fastball, and they appealed to the first base umpire. An aggressive punch strike from Morris Hodges there.
Got to see him on the punch bag, you know. It's at least a 900.
1-2 the count on Ricky Sanchez. Bouncing ball to second. Branch, an easy play over to first. Inning over. Leon works a 1-2-3-7. He's retired every man that he has faced out of the bullpen today. And we at the 7th inning stretch in a good one in Norman. It is Gonzaga 2, Oklahoma 1. And this is Sooner Baseball from Learfield.
Flu season is here, and getting sick was never in your game plan.
Struck out 10. Opponents are hitting 107 against him.
So he's been tough out of the bullpen. As Landon Hood out of Goodyear, Arizona. He's already been the West Coast Conference Freshman of the Week 2 weeks ago. He will face Trey Gamble, Drew Dickerson, and Nolan Stevens for the Sooners here in the 7th. And the first pitch, an off-speed pitch that's in there. Gamble struck out twice against Swim today. He's 4 for 10 on the weekend with 6 runs driven in, including a home run. And the 0-1 misses inside. Hood's a little bit similar to the Sooners' Caden Leon with that little hesitation as he gathers himself when he comes set.
Yeah, the velo's there too, 95. It's a really good young arm for the Zags bullpen.
1-1 is low and in here to Gamble. And so Landon Hood does something his predecessor didn't do very often, and that is fall behind the Sooner hitter. Gamble batting .400, 3 home runs, 14 runs driven in. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. All the runs today have been on home runs. Gonzaga getting a 2-run blast from Mikey Bell to left center in the 3rd. And Brandon Brock homering for the Sooners in the 6th. 2-1 Bulldogs starting the bottom of the 7th. And that hit Gamble, the 3-1 pitch, and that smarted. I think that got him ball on bone on the right knee, Blake.
It doesn't feel good at 95 either, I'll tell you that. 3-1 count, I wish you'd just throw me a ball instead of hitting me with it.
That is a good point. But Gamble earns his way to first via the hit by pitch, and the Sooners have the tying run aboard with nobody out. They're going to let Trey walk that off. We kind of joke now, a guy twists an ankle or falls down, he gets up, say, walk it off. Those hurt.
Yeah, they do.
Walk it off isn't as funny when you get hit by a pitch.
Right. I used to love them, send the pictures of the bruises to the boys the next day, like that. Check this out, man.
Yeah. It's a badge of honor. That doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. So Gamble at first. Here's Drew Dickerson, the DH. Gamble takes one big step towards second and then halts it right there. And Hood pumps one in there for a strike to Dickerson, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a line out to right field today. Right-hander against right-hander. They are straight away in the outfield and on the infield. And a throw to first sends Gamble back in diving. Sooners are 40 out of 44 in the stolen base department this year. Haven't attempted one today, but they haven't had any base runners.
Gamble's the first base runner without 2 outs.
The 0-1 breaking pitch fouled off, and that took the mask off the plate umpire, C.J. Burdett. So the catcher, Sherman, will go out and give our plate umpire a moment to gather his senses, and I think they'll even come out and check him. Just make sure he's okay. He says, yeah, I'm good.
Can ask his hat differently. He'd slam that thing on his.
Mm-hmm. So within about 4 pitches, we've seen a batter hit by a pitch and the home plate umpire hit by a foul ball. And it's 0-2 here on Dickerson. A runner at first and nobody out. Hood to the plate and threw a fastball past the swinging Drew Dickerson for the first out. That is strikeout number 8 for Gonzaga pitching today. 7 for the starter Swim, and the first for the reliever Landon Hood.
Got to think you're going to try to manufacture a run here. Put Gamble in motion. You let Drew Dickerson swing because of the pop. See if Gamble can get to second base with less than 2 outs.
Gamble a perfect 6 out of 6 in the stolen base department. And the first pitch is an off-speed pitch to Stevens, who was looking to ambush a fastball there. He was looking for the express, and he got the local. And it's 0-1.
Yeah, I think you take that. You give him 1 pitch. This is yours. Try to hit a homer. I'll get settled back in.
A throw over chases Gamble back in. It trickles away out of the glove of White, but he's able to retrieve it before it gets too far. And so Gamble stays put. Stevens, with Drew Dickerson aboard in the second, had a base hit. And the Sooners had runners at first and third with 2 outs. But the starter Swim was able to get the final out. And so that rally got squelched. 0-1, he's out in front again. Couple of off-speed pitches that have tied up Nolan Stevens. And it's 0-2 to the Sooner right fielder. Stevens 1 for 2 today. He was 3 for 3 yesterday with a home run. And he waved at that pitch. 3 similar pitches, and he got him swinging on all 3. 2 gone, and back-to-back strikeouts now for the reliever Hood.
Yeah, all 3 of those were at the belt or below when they started out of the hand. Got to see that breaking ball up.
So the Sooners going to pinch hit now with Desan Harris batting for Jason Walk in the number 8 spot. Do you think they'll try to move Trey Gamble here with 2 outs, maybe see how this at-bat unfolds for Desan, Blake?
Yeah, I think you give him the first pitch. Desan's a pretty quick, good ball that bats a ball kind of guy. We'll give you a knock here and there. See if we get Gamble moving on this first pitch.
So Desan Harris' first plate appearance, man, he is so good in these spots where you ask him to come off the bench, but he swings through the first pitch fastball from Landon Hood, and it's 0-1. Harris had 2 hits yesterday, but he swings through that one, and that breaking pitch is nasty from Landon Hood. It's basically like a slow curveball.
Right, it comes from a kind of a low 3/4 spot too.
And it's 0-2, tying the Sooner hitters in knots. He has struck out Dickerson and Stevens. He's ahead 0-2 here on Desan Harris, the pinch hitter. And now we got time called, and they say that Harris was not into the batter's box in time, a violation on the hitter for a strike, and it's a strikeout. So Harris saw 2 pitches, didn't even get to see a third. He's called for a batter's pitch clock violation, and the inning is over. Trey Gamble hit by pitch to start the inning, but he gets left out there, and we've played. Another call to the bullpen made by Skip Johnson. He summons Jason Bowden this time. And pitching changes are brought to you by CertaPro Painters. If you're looking to make a change at your home, the professionals at CertaPro Painters can help. They'll give you 15% off your next painting project when you call 405-990-8521 and let Robert and Jonathan take care of you. It'll be the lower third of the order here for the Bulldogs in the top of the 8th inning. Landon White, Maddox Haley, and Reese Shurman to face Jason Bowman, who just airmails one back to the back screen.
It's going to be his third.
Just a bit outside, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be his 3rd appearance on the year. 4 2/3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 earned run, walked 2, struck out 5.
Third Sooner pitcher of the day. And his 1-0 pitch is inside. And it hits the plate umpire clean. C.J. Burdett is down. Man, he goes all the way flat on his back and now is in a sitting upright position. He has taken 2 shots in the last 2 innings as C.J. Burdett. And that one pretty much came clean back to him and went off the mask. His crewmates, Seth Latendra and Morris Hodges and David Savage, checking on him.
Yeah, give him some time here. There's not a whole lot of padding in those masks, especially for the umpires. That thing struck him right square.
Grabs that mask, gets a little help to his feet, hops up, and he's going to continue. He is a tougher guy than I.
That's it. We're going home.
I might be of that same vein myself.
Some fresh baseballs.
You know, that's a hard way for an umpire to earn applause from a crowd.
It ain't going to buy you anything in the strike zone, I'll tell you that.
So 2-0 is the count. We're in the top of the 8th. Gonzaga leads 2-1. Oklahoma won the first 2 games of this series by run rule. Trying to sweep today. Jason Bowden back with a fastball 96 miles an hour. Landon White takes it. White's 0 for 2. He's grounded to second base and grounded to shortstop today. 2 balls and a strike in this right-hander matchup. Bowden whips one outside, another fastball. Kind of that 3/4 sidearm delivery, a running fastball away from the right-handed hitter.
Yeah, he just whips it. Comes out smooth. It's an easy 95, 96.
But his 3-1 is low and away, and that is the dreaded leadoff walk to Landon White. That is the first walk issued by Sooner pitching today. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner at first. Brandon Cabrera will run for Landon White. So the Bulldogs are in position to get some insurance, leading 2-1 in the top of the 8th. As Brandon Cabrera takes that spot over at first, Maddox Haley will be the batter. The right fielder's 0 for 2. He's fouled out a couple of times, once to right and once over on the first base side in foul ground. Bowden misses outside with another fastball.
I think he wants that strike, but it hadn't been there all day. See Skip come out.
So Skip Johnson indeed makes the walk out of the Sooner dugout. We'll remind you the University of Oklahoma and Sooner Sports Properties would like to thank our concession partners, Anheuser-Busch, Fletcher's Original Corny Dogs, Coca-Cola, Frito-Lay, The Baked Bear, Taco Mayo, Wonderfolk, and Boomerang Diner. And Oklahoma baseball is also brought to you by OG&E. We energize life. Drop in on the SEC scoreboard as well as we have a moment. Your SEC scoreboard is presented by Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. Got some top 25 teams in action today. Already a few games are final. Florida and Miami got canceled. That's the worst of all when you don't get to play. Number 11, Georgia leads Oakland 4-2 as they're in the top of the 9th inning. Also top of the 9th, it is number 2, LSU, tied with Dartmouth at 2 apiece in Baton Rouge. Auburn 6-2 over Nebraska. In Auburn today, they're in the 6th inning. Oregon blanking Vanderbilt in the 7th, 6-0. That's out in Las Vegas today. And Clemson, ranked 15th, tied with South Carolina 2-2 out in Clemson, South Carolina today. Bowden's 1-0 pitch is in there. Texas 7-0 over Ohio State down in Houston. And they're already in the third inning, a 7-0 lead for the Longhorns. Number 1 UCLA, number 4 Mississippi State, scoreless in the second down in Arlington. Houston and Alabama are going to get started here at the top of the hour. They play down in Frisco. Texas A&M and Arizona State later on in Arlington. And you've got some finals. 9th-ranked Coastal Carolina 9-2 over number 25 Ole Miss down in Houston. 20th-ranked Tennessee beats Virginia Tech in Arlington 3-1, and Arkansas all over UT Arlington 11-1 over in Fayetteville today. Kentucky also a winner 3-1 over St. John's today in Lexington. There's a base hit to center by Maddox Haley. So now you got a walk and a base hit, and significant opportunities here for the Bulldogs. Runners are at first and second, and nobody out in the 8th. Time called. We'll get another runner here for Haley over at first base. So we now have 2 pinch runners. Brandon Cabrera at second, and Jacob Robleski runs for Haley at first base.
If you're Bowden, you're just looking for weak contact up the middle. Easy double play. Gonna get a bunt here.
Yeah, Reese Schuerman, the catcher, shows bunt, and Bowden nearly threw it away as he pivots, throws out to the shortstop, Willits, at second base. Runners at first and second, nobody out in the top of the 8th inning. Gonzaga leads it 2-1. And Sherman squaring to bunt as Bowden comes set. Sooners come in at the corners, and the pitch misses downstairs. 1-0. Bowden just missing location outside multiple times here in this inning. That one was low.
Yeah, it seems like the release point's a little bit off.
1-0 pitch is bunted toward third. Cleanly handled fair by Johnson, who throws to first and gets Schuerman. But the runners Cabrera and Robleski move up a base. And 2 men are in scoring position with 1 out now for the top of the order. Noah Meffert as the Bulldogs look to extend this 1-run lead.
It's a good job by Schuerman putting that ball in the third baseman's hands, Camden Johnson. Getting 2 runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs.
And now it looks like Skip Johnson will go to the bullpen as he is back out of the Sooner dugout and looking out at the left field bullpen, aiming to make a pitching change. We will see the 3rd Sooner pitcher of the day entering this contest. He'll come in, inherit against Arizona State on Wednesday when the Sooners rallied from behind to take it in the 9th. As a freshman, he was at North Central Texas College. Sophomore year was spent at Lamar in Beaumont, Texas, and last year at the University of Miami. He had 24 innings pitched there, so he is most immediately a transfer from Miami. Infield is in for the Sooners with nobody out and runners at second and third. And the leadoff man, Noah Meffert, to the plate, taking a breaking pitch for a strike call. Meffert 1 for 3 today. He scored on the home run by Mikey Bell in the second, and Mikey Bell is in the on-deck circle. He's hit 2 home runs this weekend. 0-1 pitch. Little bit outside with a fastball. 1-1. Cleveland's 1-1. Pulled foul toward the Sooner dugout over on the third base side.
It's a really good job establishing a fastball in the inside corner there. Looking for the strikeout or weak pop-up. Keep the runners where they're at.
Jackson Cleveland from the right side of the rubber to the belt and to the plate, missing outside with a fastball to make it 2-2. First 2 men reached here in this inning. Landon White walked. Brandon Cabrera runs for him at third. Then Maddox Haley shot a single back up the middle. And Jacob Robleski runs for him at second base. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Noah Meffert. Swinging a foul directly behind the plate, back to the back screen. It'll stay 2-2. This game just a little over 2 hours in. Bulldogs scored first in the top of the third on a 2-run home run by Mikey Bell. The Sooner run came in the bottom of the 6th on the 4th home run of the year from Brendan Brock. Another 2-2 breaking pitch fouled off the Sooner dugout again on the third base side. Dallas Baptist will be here in Norman for midweek action on Tuesday. Check the weather. Check your schedule. Supposed to have a little bit of a rainy week. Santa Clara is scheduled to come in for the weekend series. Here's another 2-2. Tried to check his swing on a fastball, but he gets rung up. Beautiful pitch there on the outside edge from Jackson Cleveland, and a much-needed Sooner strikeout there.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. They're going to give Mikey Bell the first base bag. It's a curveball that's on the outer half, getting the chase from effort. It's a big punch out right there.
Yeah, so the intentional walk with no pitches made to Mikey Bell, who's hit 2 home runs, including a 2-run shot earlier today. That will load the bases for the left fielder, Ryder Young. Now, he's 0 for 3, but he scalded a ball right at the Sooner second baseman Kyle Branch in the 6th. Branch caught it and doubled off the runner, Mikey Bell, at the time to get out of the inning. First pitch, breaking pitch, dances low and away. 1-0 to Ryder Young.
Zags have done a nice job not chasing breaking balls early in the count. It's another good spit right there.
The 1-0. Fastball in the air down the right field line. I think this one will stay in play over near the wall, but not quite able to reach it is Nolan Stevens. Probably, Blake, I'm going to estimate, we can't see, maybe 2 feet inside the wall, so not much room over there for Nolan. He had to go a long way, but the wind held that ball up inside the field of play in foul ground.
He's done a nice job this weekend. 2 catches up against the wall. That's a long run for him. It's kind of closer to the first base dugout than it is to right field. Tough play.
1-1 the count. Ryder Young, a .257 hitter. And another breaking pitch misses outside. Bases are full of Bulldogs with 2 down. Gonzaga leads 2-1 in the top of the 8th inning. Jackson Cleveland with a 2-1 pitch and a fastball that he threw past the swinging Ryder Young. Evens things at 2-2.
Got to pitch to waste here. Got to find one that you're comfortable with. Trying to get a chase. Nothing too sweet.
The stretch from Cleveland and the 2-2. Fouled out of play. Over toward the Lloyd Noble Center and into the parking lot. 96 miles an hour on that fastball from Cleveland.
Yeah, reach back. Try to get a little bit more oomph on that one. Look from the slider down the way here.
Another 2-2 headed home. Man, just missed. Blake, was that outside or low? Because I don't think it was both.
It hadn't been there all day. Can't argue it now. He's been consistent behind the plate.
That's right.
Plus, he's taking a beating.
So the count is full.
Reset the pitch clock here.
Yeah, Jackson Cleveland, I think, took his hat off there maybe to adjust something with the pitch comm. Now he's ready with a payoff pitch. Base is full. 2 down. Runners start. And the pitch is lined into right center field. Jason Walk is on his horse, but he'll reach it easily. And the inning is over. The Sooner center fielder, more of a light jog for Jaywalk to get over into the gap. Bases left loaded by the Bulldogs in the 8th. 2-1 Gonzaga, bottom of the 8th inning, and the Sooners coming to the plate next at Kimry Family Stadium. This is Sooner baseball from Learfield.
Used Ford trucks. We have more because we give you more for your trade.
1955.
University of Oklahoma and Sooner Sports Properties would like to thank our concession partners, Community Coffee, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, High Noon, Cup Bop, Nacho Express, Conecuh Sausage, and Evan Williams. We got a good one alongside former Sooner Blake Brewster. I'm Chad McKee. Oklahoma trails by 1, sending a pinch hitter to the plate to start the 8th inning. It is Dayton Taki who swings at a first pitch fastball from Landon Hood. It comes up empty. Taki pinch hitting in the number 9 spot for Kyle Branch. 2-1 Gonzaga looking to salvage one of the 3 games this weekend are the Bulldogs. Hood kicks and comes to the plate, and Taki takes an off-speed pitch for a called strike 2 on the inner half. Crowd grumbles a bit over that call. Dayton digs back in from the left side, and the right-hander Hood readies the 0-2. Low and in. Man, that was a tough take right there.
It really is.
Especially considering where the previous pitch was. Taki hit a 2-run home run here Friday night. Drove in 4, and that Sooner run rule win. The 1-2 is too tall. Man, what a luxury to bring this bat off the bench.
Yeah, getting the left-handed bat in there. More power than Kyle Branch. Trying to tie this game up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Taki takes low and in. Sooners will have the top of the order, Camden Johnson, next. And they will be happy not to be facing Caden Swim, who was tough on the top of the lineup today with the exception of Brendan Brock. The payoff to Taki. Fastball and a called strike 3 on the inside corner by plate umpire C.J. Burdett. 1 away. And that is strikeout number 9 for Gonzaga pitching today.
It's one that could go either way. Maybe a ball inside. It's too close for let him call.
1 away, base is clear. Camden Johnson in. He is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out today. Still batting .371. And the pitch is in there. Off speed on the outer half and at the belt. They're straight away in the outfield, pretty deep in left. The wind's blowing out, and all the runs have been scored on home runs to left center field today. 0-1 from Hood. Low and in. Skies have gotten darker. Cloud cover it's about the same, which is mostly cloudy. It's just darker clouds. And I'm not sure I like that, Blake.
I don't know if I like that. Gonna get wet. I might melt.
There's almost a little feel, a little smell of rain.
Yeah.
After a breaking pitch, got a piece of it, fouled it off, and it's 1-2 on Camden Johnson. Inside the park home run yesterday. How many inside the park home runs did you hit?
Maybe 1. I don't know. You kind of stop counting them when you're 9 and 10, right? But
this pitch is low and in. Well, you might dispute some of those little league inside the park home runs. May have been a misplay or 2 out in the field.
I think I'm going to start counting at like 12.
Yeah.
We'll call it that. Probably 1.
2-2 pitch here. Whacked on the ground into the hole between first and short. Second baseman Shoot to his left, able to come up with it and throw to first. 2 down in the 8th inning. Here's Brendan Brock, who homered in the 6th inning. It is 2-1 Gonzaga with the bases empty and 2 down in the bottom of the 8th.
I'm Landon Hood. I'm not throwing him a slider. I know that.
Right-hander to right-hander. And upstairs. Story of this game to me, the pitching of Swim, the starter for Gonzaga today, Blake.
Yeah, he was able to locate 3 pitches for strikes and keep hitters off balance all day long. Got that pitch count up to 100 and handed the ball off.
The 2-1 drilled into right center. Haley is back to the wall. He reaches up, bangs into the wall, but he hangs on and robs extra bases from Brendan Brock. Maddox Haley, the right fielder, with a gem to save things for now for the Bulldogs as Brock gave it a ride. But he has to walk back to the Sooner dugout as the final out in the 8th inning. For the Sooners, it was no runs on no hits and no errors with nobody left. We'll go to the 9th. It is Gonzaga 2, Oklahoma 1. This is Favorite Games, complimented by a variety of bars, restaurants, and the best live music in the metro. It's no surprise that Riverwind Casino is the official entertainment destination of OU Athletics. 9th inning rolls around, Gonzaga to the plate with a 2-1 lead. And this one is lined down the right field line by Luca DiPolo. And foul, it lands in between foul ground and the wall, out of the reach of right fielder Nolan Stevens. A long strike one. Luca DiPolo, the cleanup man, 0 for 3 today. He's flied to center, struck out, and fouled out to the first baseman so far today. Back up the middle it goes, under the glove of the diving Sooners second baseman, and out into right field. Sooners now have Uriah Walters out there, or do I see that right? Blake playing second base.
Yeah, coming in for that at bat from Taki.
Dayton Taki pinch hitting for Kyle Branch, and so you now have Uriah Walters playing second base. That just got under his glove. So it's a leadoff single for the cleanup man, DiPolo. And on the hunt for insurance, Hudson Shoup comes to the plate for Gonzaga. Left-handed hitter shows bunt, takes the pitch up and away from Jackson Cleveland. Cleveland got the final 2 outs. Did give up a walk in the 8th, but left the bases loaded. Six hits for Gonzaga now. Sooners have 3. Again, bunt shown by Shoup, and again he takes the pitch, but this time a different result. Strike call. Jackson Cleveland is the 3rd Sooner pitcher of the day. Next one is outside, and it's 2-1. Cord Rager is the pitcher of record. He gave up the 2-run home run to Mikey Bell in the top of the 3rd. And the Bulldogs have maintained that lead throughout. Sooners getting a home run from Brendan Brock in the 6th, the only scoring today. Throw to first, and that'll chase DiPolo back in. Hudson Shoup 0 for 3 today. He has struck out, grounded to second, and then watched Kyle Branch make a great play, running and pulling one in over his right shoulder with a backhand. That was back in the 7th inning. Shoup fouls one out of play, shoots it over the third base side. So it's 2-2 on Hudson Shoup, the second baseman. 143 hitter, no homers, 2 runs batted in. And the 2-2 pulled past the lunging Dayton LaChance, the first baseman. It's into right field. DiPolo motors to third, and Gonzaga with runners at first and third with nobody out in the top of the 9th, looking to extend the lead. Back-to-back hits to start the 9th. 7 in the ball game for the Bulldogs. And Ricky Sanchez, the shortstop, will be the batter. This is the 3rd batter faced by Jackson Cleveland. Beg your pardon. This is the 4th batter faced by Jackson Cleveland, and Sanchez fouls it off. He singled back in the 2nd, was left stranded. 1 for 3 officially, and a .211 hitter for the year. Up to the bullpen to hold it here for the Sooners if they want to rally in the bottom of the 9th inning. Pretty good breaking pitch. They appeal to first as Sanchez started to swing at it, but no swing, says Morris Hodges, the first base umpire. So 1-1 on Ricky Sanchez. And he swings through a fastball up high there.
It's a good pitch. Elevated fastball. Gets the chase from Ricky Sanchez.
Deshaun Harris is now playing center field as the Sooners pinch hit a couple of times in the 8th. So Harris in for walk in center. And as we said, Uriah Walters is now playing second for Branch as a fastball came in and hit Ricky Sanchez on the upper part of his front arm. And the bases are loaded now for Gonzaga with nobody out. Skip Johnson out of the dugout with the bases full and nobody out, looking toward the bullpen, and he will summon somebody from the bullpen. Trouble brewing. Bulldogs load him up with nobody out in the 9th. And Skip Johnson to the bullpen. We'll see the 5th is full of Bulldogs who lead it 2-1 here in the top of the 9th inning. And we're going to see coming to the plate now for Gonzaga for the first time today. Remember, they pinch ran, so Tommy Eisenstadt, whom we've seen in the first couple of games in this series, Eisenstadt will bat in the number 7 spot with the bases full. Lefty-lefty matchup, and Jones misses outside. The Gonzaga pen is quiet. There's still activity out in Oklahoma's bullpen. Infield is in with the bases loaded and nobody out. And Jones gets this one shot into left center field. Deshaun Harris in from center, makes a running grab out in the outfield. Luca DiPolo will tag at third. He'll score the run. And it's 3-1 Gonzaga on a sacrifice fly by the pinch hitter Tommy Eisenstadt here in the 9th inning.
It's a good job left on left by Eisenstadt. Just serves one up into left center field for the sac fly.
So 3-1, the Bulldogs send their lead back out to 2. The Sooners will keep the infield in with one away. Runners at the corners as Shoup, the runner out at second base, tagged and moved to third. And there's a base hit back up the middle and into center field by Bo Schinkel, who came on to hit. And another run crosses the plate as Hudson Shoup scores. First pitch swinging through the drawn-in infield. Probably would have been a base hit even with the infield back at regular depth. And the base hit makes it 4-2 as Bo Schinkel drives in his first run of the year.
It's a good job using the whole field right there. Right back up the box past Gavin Jones. Gives 3 runs of insurance for the Zags.
And a 4-1 lead for Gonzaga. They look to pile it on. Runners are at first and second, still only one down. Reese Schurman, the catcher, is the batter. He lines one into right center field for a base hit. That's going to score 1. Charging around third is the man who singled a moment ago, Schinkel. He slides in, and it's a 2-run double for Reese Schurman. He has his first hit, and the Bulldogs have broken it open on that 2-run double. Gonzaga leads 6-1 in the 9th.
Yeah, just piling it on now. That's a really good swing. Taking everything to right back up the box and ends up being a little bit late to push it to right center.
So Reese Schurman drives in a pair. Hasn't been used all that much. Only his 3rd start of the year. In fact, those are his first 2 runs driven in this year. And not a very lengthy stay on the bump for Gavin Jones today. And Skip Johnson is forced to go to the bullpen one more time. Soon got the Sooner win yesterday afternoon, and we see Xander Mercurius, the Nevada Class 4A Player of the Year last season.
Yeah, he's 5'10", 186. He's only got 1 inning of work on the year, giving up 1 run in that, 2 hits, struck out, and a walk.
Well, the Bulldogs have opened it up. 4 runs on 3 hits. The big blow, that 2-run double by Reese Schurman to go from 4-1 and separate it out to 6-1. And the Bulldogs also have the top of the lineup ready to come to the plate. Noah Meffert as they try to pour it on. Xander Mercurius' only inning was against Texas Tech in that Sooner win down in Arlington. As Blake said, gave up a run, a couple of hits, had a walk, and a strikeout. And he inherits Schurman, the runner, out at second base. Noah Meffert is 1 for 4 today, and Xander deals ball 1. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. Sooners 1 run on 3 hits and no errors. Next one is low and away, 2-0 to Meffert. So Meffert is 2 out of 11 this weekend. A couple of runs scored. Xander Mercurius gets him to swing and miss at a fastball. Meffert batting .273. 5 runs batted in. No homers, has 3 doubles. He has struck out 14 times this year. And the count is now even as Mercurius deals one on the outer half for a strike. It's 2-2. The 2-2. A shot that I think went off of Mercurius, fielded by the second baseman Walters. Throw to first is low, but it's dug out by LaChance. And that's out number 2. We would have to look at a replay, Blake, but I think that got a piece somewhere of Xander Mercurius before it ricocheted out to Walters.
I'm calling a kick save and a butte.
Agreed.
Really good job by Uriah Walters, staying calm on that, getting the ball quick. He bobbled a little bit, but put a good strike in there. LaChance digging him out.
So score that one 1-4-3 on the putout of Meffert. The 8th batter of the inning will be Mikey Bell, who's got 2 hits, including a home run. And Mercurius deals a little bit low to the Gonzaga right-hand batting third baseman. Hit the 2-run home run in the 3rd, and then had a base hit in the 6th inning. Sooners intentionally walked him in the 8th, and it worked out as the Bulldogs left the bases loaded. Next pitch is a breaking pitch, low and away, and it's 2-0. Reese Sherman, who had the 2-run double, is the runner down at 3rd. And now they're going to issue the free pass for the 2nd time today with a 2-0 count on Bell. They'll go ahead and let him make the walk to first base for the 2nd time today. And the 9th man here in the 9th inning to come to the plate will be Ryder Young.
Yeah, I think this is a smart call. Got to try to leave it at 5 if you can. Give Mercurius a fresh at bat, fresh count.
6-1 Gonzaga, runners at 1st and 3rd, and 2 down for the Bulldogs in the top of the 9th inning. Xander Mercurius working out of the stretch to the plate with a fastball that's too tall to Ryder Young. Ryder Young is 0 for 4 today. He's flied to center a couple of times. Lined into a 4-3 double play in the 6th inning. Does have 3 hits this weekend. 1-0. A little fly ball into shallow left center, called by the shortstop, but Gamble, the left fielder, comes in and it drops out of his glove and falls. In to score as he was running on the play from 3rd is Reese Sherman, and Mikey Bell is able to go to 3rd on the play. The man who swung the bat, Ryder Young, because the ball was in the air so long, he made it all the way out to second base on that pop-up into left center field. Willits, it looked like, had a play on it, but Gamble called him off and then didn't complete the play.
There you go, pop-up priority right there. Left fielder has priority over Willits, especially ranging back, but a long run for Gamble ends up popping ball out of the glove on the dive.
So the Bulldogs have batted around, and DePolo, who started the inning with a base hit and came in to score, bats for the 2nd time with runners at 2nd, 3rd. 7-1 now, Gonzaga, and this one is lined right at the Sooner first baseman, Dayton LaChance. The inning is over, but the Bulldogs extend their lead in a big way. They get 5 runs pushed across, and they do so on 4 base hits. Sooners down to their final 3 outs and trailing 7-1 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. This is Sooner baseball from pitcher of the day, Landon Hood, to try to get the Sooners. Oklahoma will have a fighting chance. They'll have Dayton LaChance, Jackson Willits, and Trey Gamble headed to the plate. But 7-1 Bulldogs, 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 6 men left for Gonzaga. Oklahoma a run on 3 hits with an error, and 4 men left on the bases. Dayton LaChance to lead things off. Whacks one foul back to the back screen.
Be as good as time as any for the first home run in the Sooner uniform. Try to scratch and claw your way back into this 6-run lead.
LeChance had a base hit back in the 6th inning. Oh, 1 misses outside and low, and it's a ball and a strike to Dayton LeChance. 3 hits on the weekend for LeChance. He has been able to drive in 2 runs. Goes after a high fastball, fouls it back to the back screen. As mentioned, the Sooners have midweek action with Dallas Baptist coming to Norman. First pitch is set for 6:30 Tuesday night here at Kimry Family Stadium. 1-2 pitch here, swung on and missed. And that's now 10 strikeouts for Gonzaga pitching today.
Yeah, they've had the number for the Sooner lineup. Been able to mix up pitches all day long to any different situation, throw any pitch at any count.
1 away, and the base is clear. The batter will be Jackson Willits. Jackson 0 for 3 today. First pitch is outside to Landon Hood. Right-hander to left-hander. And Willits takes a fastball inside 95 miles per hour. Jackson Willits tripled on Friday. He is 2 for 11 this weekend with an RBI and a couple of runs scored. And the 2-0 is downstairs. Santa Clara will come in for a 4-game set over the weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 6:30 Thursday and Friday, 2 o'clock Saturday. And then the finale a week from today will be at 1 o'clock. This pitch is upstairs, and it's a 4-pitch walk issued to Jackson Willits. He reaches for the first time today.
Just a second walk given up by Zags pitching.
Number 20, Trey Gamble.
Yeah, you'll take 10 strikeouts and 2 walks against this Oklahoma lineup, no doubt. Trey Gamble to the plate, 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch in the 7th. Prior to that, he had a pair of strikeouts. There is activity in the Gonzaga bullpen. Should real trouble start brewing, with the 1 away, Gamble takes down and in. One-0 is in there. Gamble kind of shortened up on the bat handle. Just getting a look at some pitches here.
Yeah.
Is Trey Gamble.
I think you're right. Just trying to time it up. Got to pass the stick if you're going to do it. A little Sooner magic late in the 9th.
One big hack and a changeup there, I believe, Blake. And that'll send it to 1-2.
Absolutely right. Pulled the string. Good time for it.
One-two, he held up on the swing. Zags thought they had a called strike 3, but none forthcoming from C.J. Burdett behind the plate, so the count rolls to 2-2 on Trey Gamble. Willits edges away from first. Gamble goes after the 2-2 and comes up empty. So a strikeout. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Landon Hood has 4 since he came on in relief of Swim, the starter. The Sooners are down to their final out. Bulldogs got a 2-run home run from Bell in the top of the third. Sooners responded with a solo shot from Brendan Brock in the bottom of the sixth. But Gonzaga blew it open. 5 runs in the top of the 9th inning, including a 2-run double from Reese Shoreman. And they lead at 7-1. First pitch is in there for a strike to Drew Dickerson, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout today. The stretch by Landon Hood. And he threw a fastball past the swinging Drew Dickerson. 0-2 to the Sooner DH. The Sooners down to their final strike.
2 really good arms from the Zags today. Schwem had a really good outing. Hood has done nothing but fill it up through 2 2/3.
The 0-2 is swung on and missed. And so Hood strikes out the side for Gonzaga in the 9th. And the Bulldogs salvaged the final game of this 3-game series in Norman. Sooners won 14-4 on Friday and then 11-1 on Saturday. But Gonzaga answers the bell, Blake, and they come up with the win here this afternoon.
Yeah, 2 really good outings, just like we just said. Schwem and Hood took 2 guys to do it, just combined 9 innings. Did a really good job of keeping Sooner hitters off balance.
So for the Bulldogs, 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 6 men left. Oklahoma, 1 run, 3 hits, an error, and 5 men left. We'll have the Brahms post-game show, including a conversation with Sooner head coach Skip Johnson when we come back. Your final is 7-1 Bulldogs, and this is Sooner Baseball from Learfield.
Burnt out on sugary sodas and souped-up energy drinks? Time to change the game with H2O, the MVP of fresh brewed goodness. With dozens of obsession-worthy flavors like sweet coconut, Georgia peach, and Texas chai, you can mix and match your favorites to